Hello again on this opening weekend of the Betfred World Championship. It is never easy being a defending champion, especially a first-time champion. Crucible history tells us that. The record books scream at us with first-time champions returning 12 months later who've fallen at the first hurdle or the last hurdle. And for all the world, it looked like Mark Selby last night might become yet another statistic. What is it about the current world number one? It never seems to do things the easy way.
Give it up for Kurt Mafflin. As the defending world champion, he's the jester from Leicester. He's the one and only Mark Selby.
Deep screw, deep screw. Needs a bit of side. Needs to miss the middle pocket. It's perfect. Great shot. And he now goes 4 frames in front once again, 2 away from a place in the second round.
I've known Kurt for years. He's always been renowned for his break building. He's always a high scorer and very, very attacking. And to be fair, up until 8-5, I felt as I was in control of the match. And then after that, Kurt seemed to sort of let his arm go and get more and more attacking. And he took the game to me and he played fantastic.
He's taking the bull by the horns.
Yeah, proud to come back and not cave in really or give up, you know. So from 6-3, I felt pretty cool and calm all day really.
Well, that was a tremendous pot. The pressure's rising, and it isn't surprising. Another tremendous shot. He's won 4 on the trot. It's now 8 all. He's going to go 1 frame in front. 1 away from that magic number of 10.
When I came out after the toilet break, I noticed that the board had gone up in the middle, and from my first time when I experienced here many years ago, I played John Higgins, I think it was, and I remember coming out from the toilet and the board was up, and then all of a sudden I was like a rabbit in headlights. So I thought when I seen that could work to my advantage.
It felt like a good match to be involved in. Thought I might nick it 10-8 when I went 9-8 up, and I went for red in the middle, potted it. Tried to go through the cluster of red and didn't land on a colour. I think that was sort of my chance to take it really. You know, that felt quite unlucky really. It deserved to get on the colour from the actual pot.
Over 5.5 hours now. It all comes down to this 1 frame.
He had a good chance at 9-8 and a decent chance at 9-all, and I'm sure he'll be disappointed.
Oh, wow.
I know how tough Mark is, but I'll just keep playing my game. If it's good enough, it's good enough. If it's not on the day, then it's not. And, you know, to lose to world number 1 and the defending champion is not too bad, 10-9, I suppose.
There you see the relief.
Just happy to get through, really. I mean, to be fair to Kurt, first time at the Crucible, I thought he played fantastic.
Kurt Mafflin says, you don't have to do any more. What a match that was.
Fantastic day, you know, crowd was great. Yeah, it's just a really, really good experience. I just hope this wasn't the last time. I'll be back next year and many more years to come.
What a fantastic match for day one. The world champion, defending world champion Mark Selby, under severe pressure at 9-8. He pulled it out of the fire. In the press room, the media room here, late at night, journalists, radio and bloggers were going mad. It was like Kermit the Frog's all over the place. And I'm joined here by Hector Nuns from The Times and George Riley from BBC Radio 5 Live. What was it like here last night?
Well, day one, and it was your classic 11:30 finish. It was, as you say, Steve, incredible drama. I mean, apart from anything else, it was just a terrific match. Great curtain raiser to what I'm sure will be another wonderful championship. Had to feel very, very sorry for Kurt Mafflin. I think against a lot of other players, he would have won that game. But as we know, Mark Selby can dig very, very deep, and he certainly had to last night.
George, could you believe what was happening out there from 8-4, the world champion?
No, 8-4, it was done and dusted. I'd already written Mark Selby in my little draw sheet in my programme, and then back came Kurt. I like Hector. I really felt for him. Against anyone else, yes, he'd have probably done it. But Mark Selby, when it goes to a deciding frame, that's what he does best. He is absolute granite. He was always going to win that. Selby, very honest, Steve, as well. He said any other venue, he'd have lost that. There's something special about this place that brings out the very best in him.
Do you think that sort of set him up for the rest of the tournament? This could be the springboard.
Well, I think it could. I mean, you know, we perhaps are all guilty of making a bit too much of this Crucible curse, and Mark Selby's actually trying to overcome another hoodoo as well as the first-time defending thing, that anyone who's won in China has also really, really struggled here with the 2 weeks. So he's got sort of double curse to overcome. But it was at times last night where you began to think there was actually something in it. But he took great heart from having come through that, and I'm sure that's going to stand him in good stead. He's got a few days off now; he doesn't have to play till Thursday or something, and I'm sure he's going to take great heart from that win.
Yes, I'm sure he will. And Ken Doherty knows very well what it's like to try and come back and defend this title. You got closer than most, Ken, didn't you, getting to the final? But I guess you'll probably identify with some of the anxieties felt by Mark Selby last night.
Absolutely. And you know the Crucible course is always there over you, in the back of your mind. And he came very, very close to it, Mark Selby. I mean, he must have been, trailing in his boots and shaking in his boots, but it was so close. Kurt Mafflin had a great chance when he went 9-8 up. He played superbly well, and I think it was just maybe the occasion got to him. He thought, like, maybe I could actually win this, you know, and then sort of freezed up a little bit. But fair play to Mark Selby. A true champion always comes back. When his back is against the wall, he really digs in hard and makes him such a tough opponent to beat.
Indeed, and I'm sure Kurt Mafflin will probably remember that black off the spot in the 18th frame. That's going to trouble him a bit. But it was a brilliant debut from his perspective. But I just wonder, you know, when you look back last year, you remember Mark Selby came through a 10-9 in round one as well against Michael White and still won. What more did we learn about Selby last night? Well,
it's just how good he is from behind, even when the chips are down. You know, his all-round game, his temperament, his composure, and his bottle. You know, he has great bottle and he never gives in, and it's a great testament to any player or anybody watching. You know, we see a lot of young kids here playing on this table during the week, and if they can take a leaf out of Mark Selby's book when the chips are down, it's a great testament to him.
OK, well, Selby, first man through into the last 16. That's round 2 here in Sheffield. And bidding to join him this morning was either Marco Fu of Hong Kong, the man who's been a semi-finalist here before, or the man who has filled several pages of the Bexhill Observer in Sussex over the last few weeks, 28-year-old Jimmy Robertson. Because it was Jimmy's second time here at the Crucible, and he'd already scored 3 more frames than he managed on his debut 4 years ago when he trailed 4-5 overnight in their opening session. Now, they share the opening 4 frames this morning, 7-6 to Marco, and the man from Hong Kong knocked in a 63 break en route to a 9-6 advantage. He's on the brink here as we join him in frame 16. Dennis Taylor, Stephen Hendry sitting in on this.
Big shot. This could be a match clincher.
1.
Now 30 points in front. And with the reds perfectly placed, one good pot here and good positional shot. And he could be in the second round. Well, you couldn't get a better chance than this. Just look how the balls are situated here. Couldn't be placed better.
8.
Jimmy was 3-1 down. He led 4-3 and he stuck with Marco, but just the last couple of frames let him down. I mean, it doesn't matter where you place the cue ball, you're going to have a choice of pots.
13.
42 ahead. And just making sure, Marco, he's not rushing things here. Just keep it all nice and simple.
14.
Marco's still at 90% there with his pot success rate, but
20.
and well ahead in the long pot success department. Probably will head back home down to London. He's got, I think it's 5 or 6 days before he plays again. His wife Shirley's up here with their daughter and expecting another daughter in July, so he'll have a nice couple of days at home and then back to business again.
27.
And he still looks as cool as ever. Marco's one of those, you'd never know whether he's won a match, lost a match. He's such a charming gentleman, always has been. Jimmy, well, it's a better second visit to the Crucible.
30.
Mark Selby beat him 10-1 on his last visit, but he's a good player, and I'm sure we'll be seeing much more of Jimmy, but it was a good effort, but it wasn't quite good enough against Marco Fu, who earlier in this session, well, he won a couple of frames with breaks of 88 and 70 plus.
41.
Jimmy's highlight was the century break, his first ever century at the Crucible. Bit of a milestone, but it's Marco that goes marching on.
46. 48. 51. 55.
And it's always nice to do it in style.
60.
So in goes the pink.
66.
Well, he's going to have the black as well. Yeah, well played both players. But in the end, it was 3 frames in a row for Marco Fu. It wasn't as easy as the scoreline suggests, but in the end, you'd have to say it's a pretty comfortable win for the very likeable Marco Fu from Hong Kong, and he goes through to the second round, beating Jimmy Robertson by 10 frames to 6.
I think the crucial frame was the 14th when Jimmy missed a chance to go 7 each, and I just take my chances to go 8-6 up. And from then on, I was playing much better, and yeah, I could see Jimmy was really struggling. His standard dropped quite a bit. I think that frame hit him quite hard. So yeah, but when I see things like that, especially in a long match at the Crucible, it's very important for me to take advantage, and which I did at the end. So yeah, it was a very good game. I haven't really played that bad at the Crucible. It's just in the second round, I find the consistency even more crucial, especially because I'm playing a better player. The match is over in 3 sessions, so I mean every aspect of the game needs to be 100%. So that's what I was lacking in the last few years. So hopefully I can get it together this time.
And you're very welcome to our Winter Gardens home this afternoon. We've got Ken and Steve with us. Ken, you were watching the last few frames of that. There were a reasonable number of errors towards the end. What was your impression?
I think Marco was dead right. You know, that 14th frame was huge for Jimmy Robertson, because he had a bit of momentum and he was putting a lot of pressure on Marco, and Marco was missing a lot of balls, chances that you wouldn't normally see him miss because he's so consistent and such a heavy scorer. But that sort of let him off the hook, and he duly took it and went on to win 10-6 from there. Jimmy Robertson would be disappointed because he had his chances, but like all the first rounds here, once you're over the first round, it's like a relief. you get when you go into the second round. A weight is lifted off your shoulders, and a lot of the seeds are under a lot of pressure in the first round here. There's no doubt about that.
It is strange, Steve, when you think Marco Fu's a man that got to the semi-final in 2006, and since then he's never been past the second round. 5 first-round exits, 3 second-round exits. It's a bit of a curious one, isn't it?
Well, yes, but I think it probably just shows you how many great players there are around. And I mean, if you sort of likened sort of Marco Fu, what type of golfer he'd be, he's effectively like your Vijay Singh. He's absolutely solid as a rock, but perhaps he's these days not winning as much as he would have liked and may have done in the past. And also, if you sort of took the football analogy in a way, Marco Fu, without being disrespectful one little bit, is like the best championship player you've had from the league behind. But that's only because there's another level now that's come through, Premier League players. Marco has done so well to stay in the game at this top level because he's an absolute workhorse. He just goes for it all the time. He's on the practice table. He's the classiest workhorse we've got.
You're absolutely right. And just a final word on Jimmy Robertson's second appearance here at the Crucible. He's done a heck of a lot better than he did on his first appearance. Yeah. What will he take away back to Bexhill? Yeah,
he had a bit of a baptism of fire against Mark Selby when he only won 1 frame. But, you know, it's great experience playing here. He's come through really tough qualifying matches, and particularly in his final qualifying match against Xiao Guodong, who's a really up-and-coming Chinese player. So that was a great scalp for him. But this is all experience for Jimmy, and he'll come back, he'll learn from it, and he can look forward to the new season, you know, with great aplomb.
Well, he's certainly got a winning smile, and he was a great presence here this time. Well, also in action this morning, it was the opening bout for the world number 5, Barry Hawkins, who so memorably reached the final a couple of years back, and the very likeable Matthew Selt, now based in Warwickshire, who's playing some of the best snooker of his career after 8 years on the tour. Now, Matt said he froze on his debut here 2 years ago, but the nerves, well, they seem to be melting a little bit, although Barry Hawkins still holds a very healthy 7-2 frames lead at the present time. They will be coming back tomorrow morning to decide this one. And don't forget, Selt was down to Jimmy White in the qualifying rounds by exactly the same scoreline and turned it around. So it's not done and dusted by any stretch of the imagination. The Crucible, by the way, is absolutely packed this year. There's been more demand than ever before for tickets, and it's absolutely stowed out in there. And I've been very surprised the last few days at the number of people who are coming here for the very first time. There's a gentleman from Melbourne has flown in to watch it, and it's great to see snooker watchers everywhere lapping this up wherever they are.
I would have to say Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And why?
Just because he's an Essex boy.
Get in there.
Get in there.
I'm a big Ronnie fan, but my tip is Neil Robertson, the Thunder from Down Under. I reckon he's got a good shot at it.
I'm going for the kid with the spiky shoes, Judd Trump.
For me, it's all about Rocket Ronnie. The Rocket.
Well, you've got to look at Sullivan, Murphy, Robertson, but I'm going to go with Judd Trump.
I think Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's hitting a really strong vein of form at the moment, and I think he's got as good a chance as anybody out there.
Ronnie O'Sullivan's obviously the most talented player that's picked up a snooker cue ever, with the present company excluded. By which I mean me.
And you'll be hearing from Josh and all of those celebrities in our Frame With series throughout the coming days. And we had some great fun with all of them, I can tell you that. Well, on the go this afternoon, we're getting into our play from the 2 sessions this afternoon, and it features the world number 7, Ricky Walden, who of course got to a semi-final here a couple of years ago, and he's got a very tough match today. It's against Graham Dott. Now, this is their second session against the man who's been in 3 Crucible finals and won it 8 years ago. Now, Dott's all fired up after failing to qualify last year, first time in 15 years, and he had to play 3 qualifying matches just to get here again. Now, Dotty held the overnight advantage, 5-4 in front. They shared the first 2 this afternoon, so 6-5 Dott, and we're going to pick them up in frame 12. It's Walden to play, Terry Griffiths, Dennis Taylor watching.
the swerve. I don't think he's on the pink, but he's definitely on the black as we show you that swerve again. Maybe he is on the pink. No, that looks tight. Now let's have a look. If he pots the black, that red is very close to the black spot, but I don't think it'll tie the black up. So this is an early key pot for Ricky here. Now, is the red that's closest to the black spot going to be available? Paul Collier's got the ball marker, which there's a little cross in there that he looks down, and that tells you if there's enough room. But is that red? It's going to be okay for him.
8.
Yeah, I think you're okay, Ricky. Got to go as close to that red without touching the other red.
No, it does actually spot.
So it's actually on the spot, Paul Collier was saying. That's why there's a little bit of distance. If it wasn't available, it would have to be a little bit close to the red and would have possibly tied it up, but he's okay.
Nine.
Ricky Walden looks a bit back to his old self now.
17.
He's a top-class player. He looked very edgy at the start of the session. One of these players that you're playing against him, and a bit like Alex Higgins used to be in days gone by. You know, you don't know what you're going to do next. You know, you could play 3 frames and you wouldn't get a shot against him. And then for the next 3 frames, you'd be missing them all over the place. Very difficult opponent, Ricky, to work out when you're playing him.
$32. $33. $40. $41.
Up to 41 and following on from the 78 in the previous frame. Perfect. All working out well here. This you can see a split in the gap. This all started, of course, when he swerved around for a red and somehow or other found himself on the black into the far corner. But he took it on, took the chance, and he's reaping the rewards.
$49. 56. $57.
Yeah, he's looking like a world beater again, is Ricky Walden. Just checking the scoreboard to see how many he needs to secure this frame and get himself back all square. Graham had a chance to extend his lead to 3 frames. Didn't take it.
$65.
That 135 break that I mentioned earlier, total clearance from Ricky Walden's, still the highest break so far this year. £10,000 for whoever makes the highest break, and if someone makes the magical maximum break, there's £20,000 available for that.
$73.
Well, it doesn't really matter the fact that he's
80.
He's got the red into the middle, so he may go on to make his 2nd century.
$81. $88.
Now you see it, 11 reds, 11 blacks.
89.
It's going to be tough, but
$96.
he has made a maximum once before. 2011 in a PTC event. It's worth a few more quid here. A very key shot coming up now.
97.
Just cannon that one away from the cushion there. Well, a terrific round of applause for his 2nd century break, but he's got eyes on possibly knocking this difficult red in and somehow getting himself onto the black. Come on, Ricky, you can do this. Oh, unlucky, and look at the cue ball. Look with the cue ball finish right on the black. A great effort, but he did the most important part. He made that century break, and he's got himself all square with 6 frames each.
A great try from Ricky Walden, so that's his 2nd century of this particular match. In we go to the next.
He never felt comfortable with that shot, and if that yellow keeps running, which it has, Graham Dott can pot the yellow and he can bring the difficult green into play. Ricky having a little mutter to himself. Not straightforward though. He's 10 in front, so he needs the green, the brown and the blue, but that hasn't finished ideally.
Dott 2.
He got so close to the screen that he left it on the pocket.
Well, we know the cue power that Ricky Walden has. He's going to have to call on it all here. This green straight, and he's got to screw this, and if he wants to get perfect on the brown, he'd need to be somewhere near with the cue ball. You've got a perfect picture there to see if he can screw this back. He might try and run it round. Slight angle there. Oh, that's good. He could do with a favourable kiss on the brown. And boy, has he had it. Now it's all about the pink. Graham Dott pushed that pink into a safe position about 5 minutes ago. At the moment, is going to come to his rescue.
7.
That's a poor shot from Ricky. Lots of top spin there. And a favourable cannon on the brown. Wow.
12.
The pink to win the frame. Oh, this is far from easy. Let's make your mind up, time. What a shot from Ricky Walden. That was a terrific pink. It really was. And, well, he's won this little mini session 3-1. And now he takes a one-frame advantage as we go to the mid-session interval. It's 7-6 to Ricky Walden.
But Graham Dott came back out after that mid-session, knocked in a break of 78, so we are all square at 7 frames apiece, and this is live inside the Crucible Theatre right now. Remember, first to 10 will be going through to round 2, and this is boiling up very nicely, Terry and Dennis.
It certainly is, Hazel, but as you join us, we've got a little bit of a stalemate with that red right over the pocket, just obscured by Graham at the moment. And that should have covered it. Just before you joined us, Ricky had no shot available. Boy, is there a gap there? Can he get between the blue and red with a little touch aside? He's coming around to have a look from the other side. And this is what Ricky was looking at from that side, and well, whichever way you look at that one, it'll be some shot. Well, he feels as if he can bend it a little bit. Well played. Couldn't really control the cue ball. It was a good shot just to miss the blue and miss the red. What sort of a gap had he there to get through? Yes, it's turning into an intriguing encounter, this match. Ricky Walden keeps looking like he's going to run away with it, and then he slips up whenever he's 50-odd in front, and Graham Dott comes back. He's had a couple of fantastic clearances. Hard to pick a winner. Could go all the way, this one.
Walden 1.
Real tough pot, that one into the centre, such a thin cut on the blue. Because you overcut it, he can't in the green on the way down, you would have avoided it otherwise.
Well, he's got away with that. He went for a long pot there. He's knocked some cracking pots in, as Graham Dott. In fact, before you joined us at the opening of this frame, he's on the cushion. Have a look at this and watch Graham. He gets up before the red's in the pocket. He couldn't have hit that any better. But once again, a little bit of a stalemate. Now with that red up near the right corner pocket.
Touching ball.
He said touching ball, and I think Graham said cheers. That's Ricky's cue that's sticking up in the air there.
Looks we're going to get one of those safety bouts when all the reds will be going up the far side of the table. That's well played though from Graham. He's forcing Walden there possibly to come off the side cushion into the pack. These players wouldn't be keen to be rolling up to balls and playing negative safeties, but sometimes they've got no choice. Both these players very aggressive in their shot selection normally.
Touching ball.
Yeah, that helps the situation from Graham's point of view. Yeah, we've had some terrific breaks. Ricky had a clearance of 135, then he was on a possible maximum break when he made another century. Graham has been clearing up from 50 odd behind with 70 break. It's been good stuff. But now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. First to 10, as Hazel mentioned, goes through to the second round, and then they're into the 3 sessions. That's when you feel the World Championship really starts. Neither player would have wanted a frame like this. That changes things somewhat because the reds are now starting to open up, so it just means that you've got to be much more precise with the safety shot. You want it tight on the cushion, and in behind the black would be absolutely perfect. He's looking at this possible red. He's looked to see if it'll go past the blue, because you can play that as a shot to nothing. Well, have a look at the reds now. I'll tell you what, if he had got that white tight on the cushion, what a bit of bother Ricky Walden would have been in. But that certainly opened things up. Have a look at that for a table. There's some sort of pattern there. Never 2 frames the same, is there? Both players striving to get that white ball tight on this cushion behind the black.
Given there's plenty of time, it's a very important part of this match.
He's going for the cut into the middle pocket.
Tell you that's a bit unlucky there. A tremendous pot, and he's gets the pink in it to not a good position. If he's going to play this with power, it's a very missable shot.
You're playing on a club table, you get down, you hammer this in and you clear up, but these pockets are so difficult. Oh, he hit that well. It only just went in, but look where the cue ball's finished. He put everything into the pot and he's been unlucky.
7.
Can he get through to that red? As we show you that very good pot again, but he looks to be right on top of that yellow. Well, in fact, it's the green that's, well, he might be able to bend that a little bit, you know, because he's on the green. If he, it's a very, very risky shot. Just a fraction out there.
The reds are too far away to play this shot. If they're close to the cue ball, it's a lot easier, but it's high risk. But what other choices he got?
Mind you, he's left Paul with a tricky situation to clean the white in that position, but the fact he's having it cleaned tells me maybe that he's going to try and bend it. Wow. It's the other one he's trying to bend it around the yellow. What a shot. It looked a straightforward pot, but he had to play that with a little touch of swerve.
Yes, what helped him to make the decision? He didn't have a safety shot on, did he? I mean, it's he needed reward for the reddy pot in the centre and then the pink. Two very difficult pots, and
15.
If he won on a red after that, he'd been very unfortunate. A chance to win the frame now.
16. $23. 24. 31. 32.
He's not hanging around either, Graham. Well, he's been like this for quite a few seasons. He used to be a little bit slower, but he wasn't really enjoying playing like that, and he's a much better player at this pace. He really is. Oh, he hasn't pushed the cue through in a straight line there. Or did he get a kick? Let's have a look. Well, it didn't seem to jump. Although Ricky's having the cue ball cleaned. Wow, what a miss. He gives it everything, says Graham Dott. That's pretty poor from Ricky's standard. As we get nearer to that winning score of 10, you can expect both players to make a few mistakes. Yeah, it's tough out there, even for a 3 times world ranking winner.
Yes, Ricky Walden's had a few blows in this match already. It went not long ago. He looked as if he didn't go 8-6 in front. He made a 53 break and made a mistake, and Graham Dott cleared up. Just can't get away from Graham Dott.
Well, he doesn't want to play that red and leave the extension and the rest on the table. Yeah, he fancies this more than the easier pot. The reason is it will avail a better position.
One.
And if he's dead straight on this green, he is. He can leave the white where the green is, and he'll have the red into the middle pocket. He doesn't have to play that shot. And yeah, he knew if he left the white where the green was, he'd have a fairly comfortable red into the middle pocket. 46 in front.
And he missed the pink earlier on in the previous visit. It's quite an easy pink. We thought he didn't clinch the frame, so he's been given another chance. .51 points in front. Just one red needed, and he's played that well. Couldn't have placed the white any better.
14.
With the crucial red, the one that'll take him into a safe position. And probably back in front
15.
again at 8-7. Looks as if he's in a hurry.
Well, the frame's safe now, and
22.
can relax a little bit. Just for the time being.
23.
It's so difficult to pick a winner, as I mentioned earlier. Every time Ricky looks like he's going to run away with it, he makes a mistake, and Graham Dott
30.
pounces on it.
31. $35. 36. 41. 43.
Doesn't matter about the green. Ricky Walden's going to head out of the arena. Graham Dott has got himself back into the lead. He now has an 8-7 advantage.
Ooh, real tension in there. But as you know, here in Sheffield, we always like to have a little bit of fun throughout the championship as well. And to that end, this year, we're suggesting that you might like to take part in our social media situation, because we want you to show your support for your favourite player by actually tweeting us your impressions of them this time. And we're going to start with someone that you know very, very well. You know, we've got the Mobot, haven't we? We've got the lightning bolt for Usain Bolt. How about the rocket for Ronnie O'Sullivan? Ronnie plays on Tuesday, and in fact it's already been put to him, this rocket launch. Let me show you how, because there was a young gentleman, a 9-year-old in Prestatyn recently, Jack Roscoe, at the World Grand Prix. He first showed Ronnie what it's all about. There we go, that's the rocket. And guess what? Rockets seem to like it. Ronnie's going with this. We've been having a go too, standing on chairs, mindful of elfin safety, obviously, blasting off into the blue. So if you fancy having a go, feel free. Why don't you tweet your impressions of the rocket using hashtag BBC Snooker or hashtag rocket launch. Please feel free. And if you've got any other ideas, let's be honest, in snooker we've got hundreds of nicknames. We've got the Jester and the Milkman, and we've got the Wizard and all sorts of things. Why don't you tweet your impressions of the players to us and show your support for them, and we will show fans of the day throughout the next few days. Who would you do an impression of, Steve?
Well, one of my favourite players, me.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
It's not hard to look boring, is it?
Isn't it?
Fairness.
No, exactly, yeah. And you, Ken? What about you?
Who would I do? I don't know. I can't think of it.
What about this one?
Calm down, Mr. Parrot.
Plucky Parrot, Plucky Parrot.
he'll get you for that, by the way.
The eyebrows.
So there we go. Rocket launch, and rocket launch is actually on Tuesday when he steps out against Craig Steadman. But let's get back to the serious business, gentlemen. It's Graham Dott who's gone one up in his quest to get into round 2 here. He's fired up this year, isn't he, Steve?
Yeah, I think this event he loves, finalist 3 times, but it's great, isn't it, that even these first round matches, let alone the best of 25s, it's to in and fro all the time. You only get this type of storyline in a match that's this long.
You can indeed, and we should remind everyone that Ricky Walden's already won a title this year. He did so in China. He's been in the final of another. He's had a good season as Ricky, so he's a major scalp here, the world number 7. And he knew he was going to be tough against Graham Dott. So let's get back there. What about an impression of Dennis? Any old pair of upside-down glasses will do, Den?
Yeah, Terry's got his glasses on. We'll get him to turn them upside down. Wasn't a good break-off shot there, was it, Terry?
Yeah, in such an important frame, you think he'd do a good break-off. A lot of tension out there. Make no mistake about it. Closer you get to that magic number of 10, the more difficult every shot becomes.
The best, bringing a red up. Lots of noise from the other
6.
table. They're in between frames. Paul Collier probably asked him to be quiet. Well, he did earlier, and they listened to him. Oh, where's the red going? I'll tell you what, this is so unlucky here.
11.
He got right into the gap there.
Quietly, please.
And he's very unfortunate, as you heard Paul Collier asking the crowd on the other side to be quiet. See, they listen to him. No.
Ricky Walden, 11.
He was a bit unlucky with the split, it has to be said. They can be missed on these tables. And just while we're talking about referees, John Williams, who refereed 11 World Finals. Not too well at the moment, and if you're watching John, everybody sends their regards, and also Leo Scullion, another referee from Glasgow, not too well. All the best to you as well, Leo.
One.
He's got two reds on the left corner here, but over distance it won't be easy to gain position from those.
Five.
Now he's had a look if the pink will go. In the right corner, blue is obviously available. Needs to run a bit.
6.
Well, it's not too bad. You've got enough angle to go in and out to balk. Of course, the greater the distance the cue ball's got to travel, the easier it is to make an error. They made short work of that one. Played it really well. Have two cushions to run inside to pick up the speed of the cue ball. He's flying at the moment, Dott.
Yeah, I think we mentioned earlier, it's amazing that they've only played each other once. Back in 2011, that was a TPC event, and Graham won 4-1. Not a bad record. He's played 33 matches at the Crucible, Graham, and he's won more than half of them. He's won 19. But the big one was in 2006. What a win that was. Still not straightforward. Needs another good positional shot here.
$17.
Now that's going to tie things up. Pink having to go on the black spot. So it's all about the blue.
34.
Graham Dott. You could say blue's his favourite colour. When he won that World Championship, he took the trophy out onto the pitch at Rangers. He's a big Rangers supporter, is Graham. Same thing happened with his good friend John Higgins, a Celtic supporter. He brought the World Championship
29.
trophy out on the pitch.
$30.
Now those four reds are all sort of covering each other, so he might decide to play the cannon here just to put them into a better position.
$35.
Just having the cue ball cleaned, not because he had a kick there. I think it's the way he's going to play the next pot. He's going to roll this in the middle and run through for the blue. It's the type of shot that you sometimes get a heavy contact on. That was the reason he had the cue ball cleaned. Top spin, as you can see there. He does love the pressure. This player, he enjoys every moment of it.
$41. $42.
When he gets into this type of run of 14 balls, he takes some stopping. It reminds me of an explosion waiting to happen all the time.
Well, that's his nickname. Rob Walker calls him the pocket dynamo.
And good break this. If he clinches the frame from here, he'll well deserve it. Excellent stuff.
48.
Well, we mentioned before he's clinched a few frames where it looked as if he didn't have a chance, but he pulled off a couple of superb clearances, and now looking for another cannon, and if he catches this correct, he could bring both those reds and the pink into play. Yeah, that was all it needed, was just a gentle touch. He can stay for the blue.
53.
42 in front. As we show you the delicate little cannon here, he needs the red, the blue, and one more red to leave Ricky needing a snooker. It's not
54.
bad. He can still play on that red to the right of the pink.
And he's in the zone at the moment, isn't he? He's like walking on water, call it what you like. He's absolutely brilliant to watch.
$59. $60.
Wow, what an effort this has been. And Ricky Walden, well, he's got it all to do now. He's going to have to win the last 3 frames to get through to the
65.
second round. It's going to be a tall order, but he's quite capable of doing that.
Graham Dott, 65.
Didn't expect to miss that red, but he's in a strong position now. 54 points in front, just 43 left on the table. You can't blame Ricky Walden for coming back to the table. He's been sitting out a while.
1.
Needs to make this pink. Oh, tight and concession
Ricky
then
Walden,
from
one
Ricky
frame
Walden.
conceded frame Graham Dott.
Graham Dott is really starting to play good now. 9-7 in front.
Yeah, he was a little bit unlucky there, was Ricky Walden, in that frame. He played a lovely split when he was in amongst the balls, and he couldn't have hit it any better. We can show you that shot. He's potted the blue. He's found the gap. He wanted to miss the pink. There was a lovely gap there. He's got into the gap, and he couldn't have hit it any better, and he was unlucky the way everything's finished here. He had that red next to the black to go at. He thought he might be able to pot that and get on the pink. Missed it, and that was it. So now it's all to do for the man from Chester. He was brought up in Begilt near Prestatyn from 4 years of age, but he's moved back to his native Chester, and he's got to win all 3 remaining frames if he's to stay in this year's Betfred World Championship. But he's quite capable of doing that. Make no mistake.
Frame 17. Ricky Walden to break.
Well, he knocked a more difficult red than the one that he's looking at into the right corner a couple of frames ago. He was tight on the cushion and he rolled a red like this in and got on the black. And he'll have a go at this one. Look at the determination in that face. Oh, and look where the red's going. That was the only one he could leave. But hang on, is there one at the back of the bunch that might be also available? No, but he has that one that's gone right up the table.
What's in Ricky Walden's favour at the moment is that, of course, he's at the point of no return. He's got to win all the frames. And in his own way, that relaxes you a little bit and makes you commit to your shots. And as of Graham Dott, because he's in front, you can sometimes start playing to protect that lead rather than push on for the line. But it's not Graham's way normally. But
5.
If Ricky Walden can win a frame or two, anything can happen.
Six.
Not right in the centre of the pocket, but as long as they go in, that's the main thing. Now this will open a few more up. Just got to give this a little bit of care and attention when splitting the reds here. Well, in fact, he's decided to just nudge them gently.
14.
He knows he can't make any mistakes. So there's only one more red available, though, after this black. And now he's going to have to get into the bunch from the black.
21.
Key shot coming
22.
up. Doesn't want to stick in the back of those reds. So a little bit of extra screw and paste to make sure he just doesn't stick in the reds. Played it well, he stunned it in. Couldn't have played that any better.
29. $30. $37.
Great to watch Ricky Walden when he's in the balls like this. Very fluent. Just underhit that slightly.
43.
Just got to be a bit careful here because he's got a can in the pink and potting this red. Yes, there's one available to the right of the
44.
pink spot, so he can take the blue and screw back a little bit, and he'll have that available. Well, this is good stuff from Ricky Walden here because
49.
Graham put him under extreme pressure and he's responded. You know, he has done that
Ricky Walden,
maybe
49.
4 or 5 times in this match. He's missed an absolute sitter where he just loses a little bit of concentration And, you know, all the balls he's missed, the easy balls he's missed, is into that same pocket.
1.
I can think of at least 3 frames that Ricky should have won where Graham cleared up. And it's a bit unlucky here, because if that had finished nicely, I wouldn't have put it past Graham Dott to go on and possibly even clinch the match, but that's gone wrong. Played it well enough, just a bit unlucky, Terry.
Yes, you can pot the red in the centre of it, but as you know, over the red there, it makes it a lot more difficult. Oh, that was a good pot. Excellent. And this is his first chance to clinch the match.
16.
He's got a kick there, but it's okay.
17.
But he's got a couple of difficult reds to negotiate as well, as we show you the heavy contact there, but it didn't affect things this time. But one of his clearances, there was 3 reds safe, and he still went on to clear the table.
24. 25.
What I like about Graham Dott is that he keeps the same tempo and he's under pressure as well, because he's making no mistake about it. He's under pressure here, he's to win the match. But he still doesn't take too long in his shots, doesn't rush them. Same speed, same rhythm.
$40. $41.
Now then, he's going to try and cannon that red over the corner pocket. No. So just 1 point the difference. It's going to be a tense ending to this frame.
48. Graham Dott, 48.
Could have played that a bit better. Another cracking long pot from Graham.
Graham Dott, 1.
He's got Ricky in a spot of bother here. Graham, so determined this year. He went out in the final qualifying round last year, 10-7 to Kieran Wilson. He came through the qualifiers this year, and he said whoever got him in the draw was going to have a tough match. That's certainly proving to be. Now the situation for Ricky Walden is here. He's got to hit the red, and he's got to get it safe, otherwise it could be his last shot in this year's World Championship. That's the scenario. Having to play this with lots aside because it's not a natural angle. And he's going to have another go at that one. He's trying to just nestle onto that red.
Wow. The miss. Graham Dott 4.
Graham stays in his seat, has it put back. It's a very delicate shot that he's trying here. This is what he's trying. Look where he's got to find the path for that cue ball.
Wow. The miss. Graham Dott 4. Back.
Well, I hope he doesn't go out of this year's World Championship with a series of misses.
Problem with this shot, it's an unorthodox escape, but it's not one you'd normally be used to playing. It's not one cushion, it's not two cushions. And also got to avoid all the ball colours.
Well, I had the lineup, and that's exactly where he's got to go, roughly, and he hit the brown. It's so precise, really. That's better. This looks good. Ricky's in the way. What a shot! Well, everyone enjoyed that, including Graham Dott. He tapped the table there.
It wasn't just that he hit the red then, tennis is the pace he used as well. And when you're looking the other way, because he was looking up to the bar cushion to play the shot, you don't get the same feel for it. That was a great shot, great escape. Of course, he's kept him alive here. I think you said, Dennis mentioned, it's terrible to see somebody lose a lot of points at this stage in the World Championship with our famous misrule.
He's played a clever little shot there, Graham Dott, because it's not easy to send this round the angles because of the pink and black. That's just a containing shot. He knows that he's put himself in a little bit of bother, but there was no other shot available to Ricky there. Now can Graham get the snooker? Bit too hard, I feel. Normally he would have a go at this red into the right corner pocket, but the simple scenario is if he makes a mistake, he's out of this year's World Championship. Make your mind up time. He'll weigh up all the options, and if he doesn't see an easy safety shot, he'll take the pot on. I think he can send the red around the angles as long as he avoids the pink. But if it's not an easy safety shot, you might as well go out having a go at a difficult pot. The last thing you want to do is try a difficult safety shot and stick the red up.
He doesn't have to play a difficult safety shot here. What he's got to do is get the red safe. But he's looking for, obviously, to trap Graham Dott into making an error on the next shot, and it doesn't look if it's available. You're right, Dennis, there's high risk involved.
Needs to pull up. He's anxiously looking there, is Ricky, and I don't think he's covered it. So one good long pot, and Graham Dott could be in the next round. It's not going to be easy, but he's steadying himself up for it. Here we go. Look at the determination there. He hasn't fluked a snooker, surely.
change his rhythm on that one, Dennis. That was a mistake, I'm afraid. He took too long on that shot. He put too much importance. We know how important this shot is. If he gets it, he's through. But he should just allow himself to go on and play the same tempo as he has in previous shots.
Yeah, I think under pressure you hit it a bit harder than you intend, but he's had a result there to cover it. I don't think he's snookered, but he can't see enough of it to take the pot on. Oh, can you believe it? But listen, it's only costing them 4 points. The red's gone safe. This was Graham as he walked back to his seat. He thought, oh, if I had got that, I was in the second round. Needs to miss the brown here. He hasn't. He's almost animated, Graham. Yeah. Big shot. Lots of noise from the next table, so Ricky just wandering around here. You can see the other table just coming to the end of a frame. Well, he is a fabulous player with the rest, but I'll tell you what, this is going to be a bit special, this. Because not only has he got to pot the pink, he's got to get lots of screw on it to get across to leave the yellow. Boy, this is a big shot he's taking on here. And he's hit it too well. That's unlucky.
Well, if we thought the pink was difficult, what about this yellow? At least he's going out there and trying to be positive, not waiting for his opponent to make a mistake. That is a risky shot to take on, even though he's good at the rest. Because if he'd have missed it and got position, then it is all over. He's having a look at the pot. That cue ball was just an inch or so further out, it'd be a lot easier. He's overcooked it with the brown. Looks as if he's come to his rescue.
Walden 7.
There's a lot of holding your hand up. A little smile there. Graham did it previously. He got away with it. This time it's Ricky's turn to get away. Well, it's nice to see the boys smiling, because I'll tell you what, the pressure they're under out there is intense. This is what these boys have played all season for, getting themselves ready for the big one here. It's a very busy season these days, and look at the shot he's played here. Play tournaments all over the world, but it's all about the big one at the Crucible. Half chance now for Ricky. Now this yellow cuts. And can he hold it for the green? Might just be able to do that. He'll have to come off the baulk cushion and back up past the brown there. And he has held it.
2.
Well, brown, blue and pink to keep his hopes alive.
Nine.
And he's had a bad kick there.
14.
but it hasn't affected the outcome of the shot. Just the pink needed. He's not finished just yet, Ricky Walden. That was a fabulous frame. He knew he couldn't make any mistakes, otherwise he was out of this year's World Championship. He's still firmly in it, but he's still one frame behind at 9-8.
Oh, there's some life in this one yet. As we expected, I always thought this was going to be very close between these two, despite the fact that Graham's world ranked 19 and Ricky now 7. Yeah. Your analysis of the very, very important shot in that frame that we just saw from...
Yeah, I mean, Graham Dott has got himself in a fantastic position there, 9-7, and looking the more composed and the more confident of the two. And, of course, he has a lot more experience here at this level, at the World Championship, of course, because of his record here. But he had one shot, and Terry said he probably took a bit too much time over. But you're entitled to, I think, we were saying just in studio, you're probably entitled to take a little bit more time because you know the importance of the shot. That one long red into the green pocket, and he just missed it and sort of twitched a little bit at it because he, you know, it was such an important red.
Yeah, he wasn't far away, and you could see with his face he fancied that he'd nearly potted it, and that's the margins, and there it is now, just very close to potting it, and he played position quite nicely, and that was his game ball, so he's had one bite at the cherry.
You can really sense how badly Dott wants to be in the second round because, of course, he didn't play here last year. It was the first time for 15 years, and he said he was devastated sitting at home wanting to be there, and it's clearly sharpened the appetite to get back here. And he was pretty critical, Steve, about the qualifying situation. And after he actually got through, he said, that's it, I'm there. No beep test, no assault course to go through, just the 3 matches to win to get here.
Yeah, he feels like he's been through the mill to even get here, but you know full well with Graham Dott, he gives it everything, and this is a place where he really thrives. So I think he's looking fantastic in the latter part of this match so far. He really looks strong. Ricky's going to be hard pushed, I think.
I think if anybody were looking at the draw, they would have wanted to avoid Graham Dott, you know, because he has been a winner here. He's lost in 2 finals. He's had some fantastic wins, and they know what they're going to get with him. He's a gritty performer, never gives up, and very, very difficult to beat. And it's still a match on here.
1. Poor break off from Graham Dott. Give Ricky Walden the chance there to pop that red. He's on a bar colour. Cubans would travel a long way to get up for the reds, though. Tall lad, isn't he? 6 foot odd, must be. He can reach a fair way on the table without using the rest. Does help.
Play that nicely.
4.
Yeah, he's around 6'2", 6'3", Ricky. That's why he tends to bend both legs. Because of that height, he feels more comfortable. Mark King, another player that has both legs bent, but the normal stance is to keep your back legs straight, but Ricky's more comfortable doing it that way.
Peter Ebden does it now as well. He's the ex-world champion. Of course, he's had trouble with his back. A lot of snooker players have had trouble with their back over the years, and their necks. Very unusual position to be in the stance of a snooker player.
12.
I think there's a plant on at the back here, so that'll help the situation. It's not in a direct line, but easy to make.
13.
And a key shot coming up early in this frame. This will be bringing quite a few reds into play. You can push through the pack, you can screw back, it just depends how you feel, but you want to keep that white away from the cushion. And he finished up, he didn't quite hit it hard enough. He may need the rest, but wanted that to carry on through. He is pretty good with that rest.
$28. 29.
He's at 90% success rate with the rest. He's potted 18 out of 20.
$34.
Two more reds available. And then it's into that little pyramid of reds that's behind the pink.
$35.
That's okay. He can play for the red that's next to the cue ball. Leave it into the same pocket that he's taking the black. And then it's a good angle to try and bring some of those reds into play. Oh, he's done it again. That's amazing.
Ricky Walden, 35.
Luckily this time he didn't get good position, but that's maybe 5 simple shots that Ricky's missed in this match. He's looked unbeatable at times, Ricky Walden, with all the breaks he's made, and as I said earlier, you can see he's a little bit annoyed with that there. 135 clearance, and then another century when he was on his way for a possible maximum. Now you can see that there's quite a bit of pressure on Graham Dott now, who just needs that one frame to get through to the second round. So you can expect it to be tense out there, and you can expect them both to miss a few.
Yes, Graham Dott be still disappointed with that long red that he missed in the previous frame. He felt that was it. If he got that, he was going to win the frame and match. Can put that out of his mind now. That's gone forever.
Not the best there, but he holds his hand up just to, well, I don't know why he's apologising. I suppose he hit the shot so badly he was entitled to leave the red on. Just looking to see if he was to take this red up into the right corner, he could get himself on the blue and he wouldn't leave a great deal. So it's definitely worth having a pop at this one. It's such a precise game, this game of snooker, but when you're really under the cosh, it's so difficult. Oh, and he's pushed the red over the pocket. He needs something to come to the rescue here. And maybe the other red has. Clearly. Now, I watched Ricky Walden a few times practice, and he's one of the best in the business at this type of shot here. Potting this with topspin. But this is the crucible, so he's not even thinking about it. Just a containing shot. There's a chance for Graham to get down behind the green here. Just glance off this. It's not a bad effort. It's a pretty good effort. Well, that's a little beauty he's just played there.
Ideally, for Ricky, he'd like to get up at the back of the pack there. There was 4 reds close together. Just a matter if he can, he's got a path along the cushions to get there. It looks very difficult from here.
Oh, this is tough. It really is. I mean, he'd like to possibly nestle on that red, but even to get to that is difficult. As Terry said, if he had a straightforward angle, but he's so close to the green, he can't come off a couple of cushions and just land in the back of those 4 reds. So, whichever way he goes here, pinpoint accuracy needed.
Absolutely superb. He looked at that. He came down to have a look at it.
The only thing is, I think he played to land on this. I mean, it's a great shot to clip it, but there may be a pot on for Graham Dott into the middle pocket here. I think there's a red that goes to that right middle pocket. He's looked at it long and hard, has Graham. He's 35 points behind. Key shot. He's got up, he's got back down, he's got up again.
It's a big ask, that shot, isn't it? If he misses it, he's leaving them all on. There are times when you don't have to be aggressive. Graham's way, though, that's the way he plays the game. Great shot. Tremendous shot. Great to take it on. Execution, first class.
He was 35 behind. He felt it was his time. It was worth the risk, and the risk paid off. An awful lot of balls to be potted, but he's given himself the chance. It's worth another look at that opening pot, because he couldn't put his hand on the table. He was holding the pocket there, and he put that red right in the center of that middle pocket. Just lost the cue ball a little bit this time. Got the brown, but even that, I don't know if he can reach that. He might need the rest or an extension. Just putting the extension back on his cue again. That'll do. The cannon on the black will do. And the black and the pink will be available. And as we show you the brown again and show you the cannon on the black, he could leave an angle on the pink to pot the pink and disturb the reds, because there's nothing else available after this easy red. He's left that angle on the pink. Okay. Now if this cannon works out, it's not straightforward because he can't cannon directly into the 4 reds. He'll have to hit the other one first. It's finished awkward. It wasn't straightforward, that last shot. he couldn't avoid canning into the
19.
first red, and now he's got all sorts of problems because that was about all he could do with that. But he's got himself just 15 points behind, just double checking. He'll glance back at the scoreboard. This was the one he couldn't avoid that red. He was hoping to leave it on and then think about getting into the 4 reds, but it just ran too far.
Graham Dott 20.
Well, I can't see the 4 reds, but just wonder if you come off the top cushion and slowly roll into the back of them. Doesn't look like it. Maybe playing off the bottom cushion for the single red. Dead weight. Oh,
foul.
Caught the knuckle.
Graham Dott 4.
I'm just wondering if that drifted a little bit, because he finished up in the jaws of the pocket. I don't know whether we can show that. Let's have a look at this here again. Yeah, it's coming up the table. Hard to tell there.
Well, the problem is, if it did fall off, of course, you'd have to make an adjustment now, wouldn't he? And perhaps sometimes you make the adjustment, he's just caught a hand mark or something.
And you see he's over-adjusted.
The miss. Graham Dott 4.
So that's confused Ricky somewhat. Putting it back again. So now how does Ricky play the shot? He's tried it, he felt it. Well, if he doesn't hit it this time, he's lost the match. So he's 3 misses and you lose the frame. And if he loses the frame, he loses the match. So I often think in this situation, what if you got down and you miscued?
Does that count? Is it a miscue?
Well, it's a miss, isn't it?
Certainly playing it straight on anyway. There's no way he's going to play that again. Oh, unfortunate. Now then, Graham's got a chance there if he wants to go into the pack of reds off this red. See how he looks at it. You know, he could think, well, I can kiss one of them out off the pink or black, but it's a great opportunity here just to loosen them out. He's more or less guaranteed to be on pink or black after it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Terry. But he's misjudged it. He's put it in the pocket, has he? He played the cannon on the reds and he just misjudged it. So that means now that he's got to disturb the reds. And I don't think he's got the angle off the black, that's for sure. There's just a slight angle there. He's done well. He's done very well. That was a terrific shot. He's really forced that to create the angle. It wasn't a natural angle there. He's slightly hampered though.
Yeah, it looked great until the referee put the black back on the spot. We've got awkward bridge in this red. This is a tough one. No. You're not surprised that that's the way he was bridging over the ball.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, that both players are under extreme pressure. You're going to see the odd miss here and there. That all adds to it. I mean, the tension out there is quite something. get past the green. I think he can, you know. He'll have a go at this, will Graham. Not that red, it's the one the other side of the green he'll take on. A very good pot, but no position. It's getting tenser by the shot.
I think he was in a shot to nothing there. He didn't really commit to that red to get on a bar colour. It's not easy to roll up to them there from there.
You'd love to just roll up to a colour, either the green or the brown, but it's such a delicate little shot, and if it does drift a little bit, well, is he going to try and just land on that brown? No, in behind the yellow. That was better. It meant he didn't have to roll it. He hasn't got the snooker, though. And there is a fairly straightforward escape shot. Ricky was just checking to see if the red would go past the black if he doubled it across the table. I think it would hit the black if he just hits it half ball. Now then, another possible chance for Graham Dott. He's having the white clean, the one next to the pink pots.
They're not clear, what you call clear-cut chances then, so this type of shot, it's... It's in though. And this time he is on a football colour. Probably brown if you got an angle, that's the easiest pot.
Well, the chances there as we show you that terrific pot right in the heart of the pocket. Oh, he's hit that too hard. He's still okay, but he wanted to be straight on this.
5.
Got himself 7 points in front. So this
6
is going to be difficult now, whereas if he had been straightish on that red, he could have just rolled it in the black and an easy red along the cushion. Now he's got to get all the way around the angles and drop in behind that red. If he can reach the brown, it's the shot. It's a bit of a stretch, but I think he can pull this off. Here it comes. It looks good to me. Still not a gimme, is it, this one? Well, this has been fabulous to watch. It really has. Still got to get himself onto the green. 20 the difference.
18.
Yellow and green needed. And this would be quite a win for the qualifier, Graham Dott. As Hazel said, he missed out last year in the final qualifying round. Tension. Crucible pressure.
Graham Dott, 18.
Amazing. Was just 2 pots away from a place in the second round.
Yeah, well, the yellow wasn't easy with the rest, but the truth of it was he should have got closer to it off the black, I felt.
2.
There's no angle here, and it's quite tough to get on the brown.
Well, the one thing in Ricky Walden's favour here, he's blessed with a terrific cue action and plenty of cue power. He's going to need it here if he's going to drop in behind that brown. There's not much of an angle on this.
Foul.
Well, Ricky, I mean, look where the white's finished up.
Ricky Walden 2.
What was he trying there? That could be the end of this year's World Championship for the very likeable Ricky Walden. He hit that just too hard. Just the green needed, Terry, but
yeah,
it's not a gimme, though.
No, it isn't, but disappointing there for Ricky to see. Give him 4 points away. It's in.
3.
That
Brown 3.
To make absolutely sure, but what a performance from the pocket dynamo, animated as ever. Just one snooker needed, though. Oh,
foul. Graham Dott 4.
it's very disappointing for a player because he has made 2 century breaks. He's looked a world beater at times in this match, but he's just missed too many easy shots, did Ricky. He'll be the first to tell you that. And that's the one. The very determined Scot.
4.
Graham Dott has done so well here. I think Ricky will, well, he's carrying on, but
Graham Dott,
very
4.
little chance now. That's one way of getting a snooker, but it's easy to escape from it. I think Ricky, he knows it's all over. He's having a look at the scoreboard. I think it's, is it 3 snookers to tie, something like that. 33 the difference, just 18 on the table. When your opponent needs snookers, it's either in or over, as we call. He wants to keep that blue on the table, but a chance now for Graham to wrap it all up. And it has to be said, it's a great win for him. He was 3-1 down, looked like going 4-1 down. He hung in there. And Ricky comes forward.
In the match.
It's been a terrific match, but Ricky Walden in the end missed too many easy ones. And the pocket dynamo, Graham Dott, he must be absolutely delighted. He's come all the way through the qualifiers, and now he's knocked out Ricky Walden, and he gets himself into the second round. He wins 10 frames, 2-8.
Congratulations to Graham Dott. After missing the Crucible last year, he's back and a really, we always use this word about him, but gritty. And it was a fantastically determined performance in the end from him, wasn't it?
Yes, and the first qualifier to come through. It must be tough for Ricky Walden to know he's playing against a qualifier in that department.
In fact, let's hear from Graham now. He's with Rob Walker.
Graham, a lot of tension in that last frame, but you must be delighted, especially after missing out on being here at the Crucible last year.
Yeah, last year really hurt not being here, but it's nice to show that I can actually still do it here.
And you've got a good chance now. You've got you might have Stuart Bingham in the next round or Robbie Williams, and you've got such a good record when it comes to these long match formats. Your confidence must be there. Yeah, it is. I mean, as I said, it's nice to know that I can still do it, but that was a typical kind of performance that I normally do here. I just hang in, and when the pressure's on, I normally play quite well. Did you feel any fatigue there? Because you were quite vocal about the fact that, you know, the format's changed this year and you had to play 3 qualifying matches to get here. Did you feel tired, or was that not a factor today? No, there was no fatigue just now. You'd only get fatigue maybe the semi-finals or that, but nothing just now. Well, well done. You're still in it. Great performance. Cheers, thanks.
It's a former world champion's in it, and Steve's made a very good point. He's the first qualifier to knock out the seed. It does seem very strange that it's almost a role reversal on this occasion for him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Very tough draw for Ricky Walden, to be honest. Of all the qualifiers, he's one of the toughest, there's no doubt about, because of his experience, you know, past champion, and so many great matches that he's won here. So very tough, very determined, and he's got a lot of bottle as well. I mean, he potted some really good balls in those last few frames.
OK, well, there was one other match ongoing this afternoon. In fact, it was the opening session of the match between Neil Robertson, the 2010 world champion, the man who actually beat Graham Dott in that match, up against the Jones kids, Jamie Jones from Neath in Wales. And they're in the last frame now, and what a start was made by Neil Robertson. He stuck in a 1-4-3 in the third frame, and then a 1-0-9 in the fifth for a 6-0 lead. Jamie Jones has won the last couple, and this is the man who, of course, caused a bit of an upset a couple of years ago on his debut here. He knocked out Sean Murphy before getting to his very first, and in fact his only quarter-final in a major event so far. But that is just about it for our afternoon. Thank you very much to Steve and to Ken for your company this afternoon. And don't forget that Jason will be on the air at 7 o'clock this evening, in the mere blink of an eye, in fact, because we're all set to soak up an all-Scottish deciding session between Messrs Stephen Maguire and Anthony Miguel, and it's the debutant Miguel who holds the aces at the moment. He's 6 frames to 3 up, so a lot to play for tonight. We will see you again very soon. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
Aggressive Crocs handled with